Hello, I'm Sophie from Bee Bag Designs, and today I'm going to show you how to make this lovely green summer poncho.
It's made from this lovely cotton acrylic yarn, which has got a lovely drape and beautiful colours.
So for this poncho, I use this lovely yarn from Blooming Yarns that has this great gradient to it. I'll put the link from the green one in the description, but they're also a variety of colours, and it's 50% cotton, 50% acrylic, and some of them have this, as you can see, it's tiny strands of lurex, which gives this glittery look. So Blooming Yarns. I think if you want to do tassels, I'd get 700 or 800 metres to do the length that I did, because to have tassels take an enormous amount of yarn. But there's this beautiful colours. The other thing I did is I bought a plain one, and then when I got to the tassels I combined the plain one with the gradient one because it was slightly cheaper and it does use so much, so I did half and half on the tassels. But I'll put the link in the description. But it's 4-ply cotton acrylic, but it just makes this lightweight and this lovely drape to it. You'll also need some scissors, just a couple of hooks, and I use a number 8 hook for this project. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so we're actually going to start at the top of the poncho and then we'll work down to the tassels. So we're starting where this lighter green is, and that will be your chain. And then afterwards we slightly decrease the neckline so it sits nicely on your shoulders, and that's 3 rows, and I'll show you how to do those at later points. So we're going to start here and work down. Okay. So I'm going to use a slightly thicker yarn just for demonstration purposes, because that will make it easier for you to see the stitches. So you make a slip knot, and we are going to chain 81 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you finish your 81 chains, come back to me and I'll show you where we go next. Okay, so rather than join a chain now, I actually do double crochets into the chain and join it afterwards, and it saves it twisting. So count 1, 2, 3 chains from the hook and do your double crochets. So basically you're going to double crochet all the way along your chain. I always think it's the hardest thing starting these projects, and then once you get going it settles down, but it's much more fiddly than you think at the beginning, and I think that's what can put people off. So continue to do that, so you've got your nice double crochets in your chain, and when you get to the end you should have 78 double crochets. I will, if you pause your video, and I will meet you at the end and then show you what to do next. Okay, so lay your nice double crochet chain down and making it flat, and you can see what I mean. It's so much easier to make it nice and straight, whereas with a chain it can twist really easily. And then you go into the top of that first chain 3 basically, where you started, and you just do a slip stitch to join your double crochet together. Now at a later point we're just going to do, as I said earlier, the decrease, but for now, just to hold it together so it doesn't flop around, I just put one of the stitch pins into that bit, and that just holds it together. You can always twist it around or whatever you fancy. And then we're going to start, it's basically the Vara's stitch, and it has 4 rows that you then repeat. So I will show you the first row, and then I'll show you what it looks like on the poncho, finished poncho, so you understand. So for the corners, you're going to end up with rows of 5. So it's going to be a point either end, and then flat round the sides. So we do a chain of 5 to start. And then you quite simply just skip 2 of the double crochets, and then into that third one just do a single crochet. And this time you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I got it caught there. Again, skip 2. So every time you skip 2, and then do another single crochet. Now we're just going to repeat that chain 3 twice more. So we've had a chain of 5, and then I'm really taking it up here. We've had a chain of 5, and then we're going to do 2 more of chain 3. 1, 2, 3, single crochet. And then 1, 2, 3. Skip 2, single crochet. Okay. So we've got the chain of 5, 3 chains of 3, and 3 single crochets. So now we chain a 5 again. Skip 2, 1, 2, and a single crochet. And then do 3 more chains of 3. I took a buckle. Okay, 3 more chains of 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip 2. 2, 2, 3. Skip 2. And then 3, 2, 3. Sorry, that's the way I count the chains. So I remember how many I've done. So that's 3 chains of 3, skip 2, and a single crochet. And then we're ready for another chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 2, single crochet. And then 3 more chains of 3. 2, 3. Skip 2. 2, 2, 3. Skip 2. Single crochet. And then 3, 2, 3. Skip 2. Single crochet. Okay, so we should then now have the chain 5, 3 single crochet, 3 chain 3s, chain 5, 3 chain 3s, chain 5, 3 chain 3s. Now that will be time to reach this end. So this time we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 2, single crochet. But this time, because it's a corner, we're going to do another chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 2, single crochet. Okay, now we're back onto the chains of 3. So 3 chains of 3 and single crochet. 1, 2, 3, skip 2, single crochet. 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, single crochet. 3, 2, 3, skip 2, single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 2, single crochet, 3 lots of chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 2, single crochet, 2, 2, 3, skip 2, single crochet, 3, 2, 3, skip 2, single crochet, and I do believe that's one more chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 2, single crochet, and then this is all gone to plan. There should be 3 lots of chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, single crochet, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, single crochet, and then 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, single crochet. And now you'll find yourself at start, 2 stitches left, so you chain 5 because this is the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what we do is we're going to slip stitch into the first chain 5. There you go. And that is round 1. Okay, ready for round 2. Okay, so you've slip stitch into that chain 5, and we're ready to start the first half of that corner, because this chain 5 is at the corner, as I said before. So we're going to do a chain of 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then 9 double crochets. So that's 1, sorry, so what I mean is that counts as 1, and then 9 more, so it's 10 double crochets altogether. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is for your second round of the pattern. You are now going to do your 10 double crochets, single crochet in the first chain. Chain 3, single crochet into the next chain, chain 3, and single crochet into that third chain. So you've got your 10 double crochets, chain 3, and now you're on the chain 5. So in that chain 5 you do the same as you did in the first one, 10 double crochets. And then you just repeat that along to the corner. So in the first chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, in the second chain, single crochet, chain 3, in the third chain, single crochet, and you've reached a chain 5. So yes, it's 10 more double crochets. Okay, so you see here we've gone from the 3 chains and now there's only 2 chains, and you'll see as it changes it goes to 1 chain and then no chains, so it's so clever. Okay, so this is the last little bit before we get to this, the corner, which is a 5, 2 lots of chain 5 together. So you do the single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain. So you've got the 2 chains and then we've hit the chain 5. So we do the 10 double crochets, sorry, and because it's the corner you're going to have another set of the 10 double crochets in your chain 5 there, so we just do 10 more double crochets straight into that chain. And then basically that should look something like this, and we are now just going to repeat that on the way back. So you go straight into the chain, do a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet into the next chain, chain 3, single crochet into the next chain. And I'm going to leave you to finish, and I will meet you when we get back to the marker and at the start and show you what to do there. Okay, so you should be round to the first marker, and sorry about this phone wire, it's because my phone's running out of battery, and I'm going to do 10 double crochets in that chain 5. And that's 10. I'm just going to check that actually because I was dreaming again. This is what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. Now, what you're going to do in the first chain 3 you did there, you find the top of the 3rd chain, and with this big hook I'm going to try and squeeze that set, and then you just do a slip stitch. I've done it a bit tight. So now you should have something that looks like that. What I do at this stage, I'm going to spin it round. In that other corner where you've got the 10 double crochets together, I'm going to put a stitch marker because it's quite useful to be reminded. If you're anything like me and you start dreaming on the way round, just remember it is a corner. Also, when you're using the very fine yarn, which I did on this original one, the stitches are slightly harder to spot, but it's so lacy. So I found if you do have a stitch marker here, so just stick it anywhere, it just reminds you it's a corner, and then you don't get muddled up. Okay, I'm actually going to move it. It's getting in my way. Okay, so we've had your starter double crochet row, you've had your chain row, that was round, I suppose I should be saying, that was round 2, and then for round 3 it's basically pretty much the same, so I'll just do that with you. So you start with a chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then in top of all these double crochets you do a double crochet. So this one is always strange, you get slightly pulled, so you push that through that top of that double crochet and do a double crochet, and just quite simply double crochet all the way along. What I like about this spiral stitch is because it changes for the 4 rows, it keeps me interested, whereas some of the lovely jumpers that I keep wanting to make, I just get bored because it's just double crochet for too long, whereas this keeps me sort of interested. So I also have to say this pattern works with a thicker yarn with this, using this number 8 hook. Aha, right. Now that's really easy to do. I nearly did it myself because I was talking. So you see this last double crochet, the chain is, the top of the double crochet is on the right of it. It's really easy to go into that single crochet if you're not counting properly and do another one, but you don't want another one, so you've got 10, so you can always just check back you've got 10, because when you finished your 10 double crochets in the top of the double crochets, you don't do anything with that single crochet, you just do a single crochet in that chain there, and then you go to chain 3 and do a single crochet in the top of the next chain. Now remember I said before, you go 3, 2, 1. So we had the 3 chains at the beginning, then we had the 2 chains, and this time you're just going to have the 1 chain, because this time you're going to go straight into double crocheting in the top of those 10 double crochets. So we find the first double crochet, again check, it's not the single crochet there, it's that double crochet, so look for your circle, follow it up. Especially with the lacy one, be really careful. You do get used to it, but just keep your eyes out, keep your wits about you. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, the same thing again. So it's just repeating that all the way along to the next corner. In that first chain, do your single crochet, chain 3. In your second chain, you do a single crochet, and then you do your 10 double crochets. The cat's taken my wool. And then 10 more double crochets in there. And that's 10. And then you do your single crochet in the first chain, chain 3, single crochet in the second chain, and you now find you are at the corner. So we're basically going to just carry on with this. So here you end up just doing 20 double crochets in those double crochets. So make sure you don't do the single crochet there. Check it's a double crochet and just start 1, 2, 8, 9, 10, and you do just literally just carry on round, and you'll see in a minute it makes this lovely circular shape. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Excuse the coughing in the background there. 10. And then just repeat this. So single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, 10 double crochets, 10 double crochets, and then I will meet you when we get back to the end, and you're going to do your 10 double crochets in that 10, and we will join together at the end. Okay, so we're in the last set of 10 double crochets, and then we hit the start. So I'm just going to finish those with you, and then I'll show you the fourth round. And that's 10. So we do just join in the top of that chain 3, squeeze your hook in and do a slip stitch, and there is your beautiful shape. Such a lovely stitch, this far a stitch. And now for the fourth round. So you chain 3, but this time, because we're getting wider, we have a chain between each double crochet. Okay, so on top of that chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, I'm going to chain 1 and then double crochet into the next double crochet. And then chain 1 and then double crochet into the next double crochet and chain 1. You can see, because it needs to go round further, it needs chain 1 to reach and not pull it. So we just continue with those 10 double crochets and chain 1, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into that last double crochet. Okay, now it's really worth counting it at this stage, particularly again with the lacy one. I keep saying it, but it's so easy to do an extra stitch into that single crochet. So you've got your double crochet, chain 1 in each 10 stitches. This last one you don't do a single chain 1. So on your 10th double crochet, do not do a chain 1. You're going to go straight into that chain 3 space there. Okay, straight into it from there, and it pulls the stitch right down, and do a single crochet. And then you're straight into the next double crochet section. So don't do anything in that single crochet. In that first double crochet, do a double crochet and chain 1, and then do that for the whole 10 stitches. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. So with that very fine cotton yarn, you really have to look for the hole, and it becomes quite a big hole, which is why it looks so nice and lacy, but you've got to have your wits about you. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So nothing in a single crochet. In that chain you do your single crochet. And then straight skip that single crochet, and in that first double crochet you start again at double crochet, chain 1 in all 10 double crochets. And then skip the single crochet, 1 single crochet in the chain 3, and straight into double crochet, chain 1, and now we're on the corner. So you're going to do this right across, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, right around all 20 stitches. You can see how here we've gone 3, 2, 1, and now we've got no chains, which pulls it all together. So skip that single crochet, and then in that double crochet do your double crochet, chain 1, and I am counting in my head. Again, it's the lacy one, really it's worth counting as you go. I don't know if you've got the art that I've now got, which is I can be watching a TV programme and be counting in my head at the same time, which I didn't think I'd be able to do. Okay. And this is, as I said, the 4th round. And that is it. And then we just repeat the pattern. So, right, I'm in my 20th double crochet there. Don't forget, no chain 1 on the last one. Straight into single crochet in the chain, and straight into your 10 double crochets, chain 1. So just carry on with that. Single crochet in your chain, double crochet, chain 1, no chain 1 on your 10th double crochet, straight into a single crochet, straight into the double crochet, chain 1. And I will meet you at the beginning or at the end, and I will show you what to do to start round 1 again. But this will then be the repeat pattern, and I'll explain that all to you in a minute. Okay, so I've done the double crochet, chain 1 in that last lot of 10. Don't forget the chain 1 there, double crochet, sorry, I've got one more to do, double crochet, and don't forget this last chain one because you need the gap. Now you need to join in the third chain. Don't forget you've got 4 chains at that start, but join in the third chain because the other one counts as a chain. Oops, I've missed it, I think. And one counts as a chain one. There we go, and slip stitch. So if you look at it now, you can see you've got a nice gap between all 20 stitches at that corner. So what we're going to do now is, remember we did the starting chains. This is round 1. We're going to do the starting chains. It's obviously slightly different because the last time you did it just over the top of the double crochets off the neck there. This is slightly different, so I'm going to do this with you. But then what you need to do is repeat these 4 rounds. I did a repeat of 7 groups, so that counts as 1. You do 6 more groups to make it the length that I did my green one. So I'm going to show you how to do this first round. So you chain 5, now you're going to skip that gap and do a single crochet into that gap. Now you're going to do your 3 groups of 3 chains. So 1, 2, 3, skip a gap, single crochet over that chain. 2, 3, skip a gap, single crochet over the next chain. 2, 3, skip a gap, single crochet over that chain. Now you should have 2 double crochets left. So that's 1 gap and the 2 double crochets. So in this bit, you start again to do your 5 chains. So over the top, we do the 3, lots of chain 3, and over that gap, we do the 5 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's really important to get this starting in the right places. So you've got your 2 double crochets, you've got your single crochet, you've got your 2 double crochets. Then you put the single crochet. So you skipped 1 gap each side there, and that's single crochet. So single crochet. Okay, I'm going to explain that one more time because this is the hardest bit, I think. You've got 1 gap left on both sides, and in the bit of there is a double crochet, single crochet, double crochet. So chain 3, skip a gap, single crochet. 2, 3, skip a gap, single crochet. 2, 3, skip a gap, single crochet. Again, you should have your 2 double crochets left there, your single crochet and your 2 double crochets. And you put your single crochet in the top of that one there. So we chain 5, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, double crochet, single crochet in that gap. Right, chain 3, skip a gap, single crochet, chain 3, skip a gap, single crochet, chain 3, skip a gap, single crochet. You've got your dip, a chain 5, double crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, double crochet, single crochet in that second gap. Okay, so now we're on the corner, so I'm going to go through this and then you just repeat this process on the way back and I'll meet you at the end, but I'll show you how you go over this one. So you've joined at the beginning. I've actually done one chain already there. 1, 2, 3, skip a gap, single crochet, 1, 2, 3, skip a gap, single crochet, 3, 2, 3, skip a gap, single crochet. Okay, so on this corner you need to do 2 lots of 5 chains, okay? So then we can continue the pattern. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you skip a gap, do your single crochet, chain 5 again, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip a gap, do your single crochet. Now you do your 3 lots of chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip a gap, single crochet, 2, 2, 3, skip a gap, single crochet, 3, 2, 3, skip a gap, do your single crochet, and you should end up with that same position we were before, where you've got. So just continue that right around until you get to the start. So the chain 5, 3 lots of chain 3, chain 5 over the dips, and I'll show you what you do when you get to the end and the beginning. Okay, so you should be at the end here, and I'm going to do my last chain 5, because you've done your chain 5 here, your 3 rows of 3 chains, so your chain 5, 3 rows of 3 chains, and then because it's the end, we're going to join, do your 5 chains and then join here. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all we do, you quite simply just slip stitch into that chain. So that first chain 5, you just put your hook through and slip stitch like that. So that is round 1. This was the round 1 starter round, but this is the round 1 that you're going to repeat. So then you can do round 1, round 2, round 3 and round 4, and like I said, you want to do it in total. You've got 7 groups, so that's 1 group, and you can do 6 more and then add the tassels. So from here you quite simply do your chain of 3 and then your 10 double crochets in all, including that. So it's 9 more double crochets, and then remember we went single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. Right, I hope that all makes sense. What I'm going to do is leave you to finish that section, and then I am going to show you what we do with this neck and then how we do the tassels. Okay, good luck with that, and I'll meet you when you finish that. Okay, so hopefully you've finished all your lovely rounds. I'm going to demonstrate how to do the neck. So do you remember we put the pin in right at the start? So we just take that out, and obviously you've got a flappy bit. So I've just threaded my needle, and if you look at that, that's chain 3. So I tend to go into the top of that if you can see, down a bit. I'm going to go into the top of that double crochet like that, and then go back through underneath that first double crochet, and then back through underneath there, and if you can see, it's sort of made a double crochet. So what I then do is weave down. You want to weave down until you get to the nice thick bit between those stitches, and then you can just thread your needle and hide your yarn at the back of your work. Don't let it tighten it too much. I'm trying to do it so you can see what I'm doing, but I'm not being very successful. So, and then just weave it 3 or 4 times through that nice thick bit. You definitely have to do this with the thinner yarn. You need to find a thick section, or else you won't be able to hide it and make it secure. So when that's threaded through, you can then cut that off. And there we have your neck. Now, you might ask, why did we start off with such a big neck? But to get the correct amount of stitches, you need to do that amount of stitches basically. So that's why I tend to do this and then decrease. So how I decrease is I basically just do half double crochet rounds, and then half double crochet decrease, half double crochet decrease all the way around. I've lost the end of my yarn. I'm having a bad 5 minutes. Where's it gone? Here it is. So just make a slip knot, and we basically do this round twice. So you find, this is a chain, so you find the top of that chain in between the stitches there, and just slip stitch through. And then you're going to chain 3. And then this is a half double crochet together, so in yarn over 2 into the top of the next double crochet. They look weird because it's actually your chain. In the top of the next double crochet, yarn over, take off 2 and take off 3. I hope you can see what I was doing there. I will do it a couple of times more. So what you're going to do is do a half double crochet and then a half double crochet together, and just repeat that. So the next one's a half double crochet in the top of that double crochet there, take off 3, and then a half double crochet together. So yarn over, pull through, take off 2, yarn over, pull through, take off 2, and then take off 3, and then half double crochet in the next stitch. So you're just decreasing every other one. And I'll do one more. Yarn over, pull through, take off 2, yarn over, pull through, take off 2, take off 3, and you get this nice effect here. So I'm just going to carry on doing that all the way around the top. If at the end you end up with an odd number, just do another half double crochet. It's not the end of the world. What you do, it's just decrease it. And I'm going to do another round of this, because if you do it too quickly all in one go, it kind of puckers. So if you do 2 rounds of exactly this, then you tend to get a nice flat finish. So I will meet you at the end, because I'm not going to be able to do it while I'm talking to you, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so you finished your half double crochet and a half double crochet 2 together in every stitch, and I finished on a half double crochet, and of course my first stitch was half double crochet, but that really is not a problem. It's just a case of wanting to reduce. So what I'm going to do is join in the top of that chain 3 and do a slip stitch, and then we quite simply repeat that. So we do a chain 3, and then in the top of that half double crochet you do the first half of the stitch, and in the next stitch you go in again and do the second, pull off 2, and then pull off all 3. Come on, yarn. So the next one in the top of it is a half double crochet, and then the next stitch you start the half double crochet together, take off 2, yarn over into the next stitch, take off 2 and take off all 3. I'll do it one more time. The stitches are quite baggy, so that one I'm going to do what have I just finished on. I've done the half double crochets together, so I want a simple half double crochet, so I do it in that stitch. And then in these next 2 stitches I'm going to do the half double crochet 2 together. Yarn over, pull off 2, yarn over, in the next stitch pull through, pull off 2, pull off all 3. Next stitch 1 half double crochet, and then you just continue that all the way around. These half double crochets 2 together can look quite big and baggy, so you just do it in the top of those 2. But play around with that, but it does give a really nice finish, and you'll see how nice and flat that lays, and actually makes quite a nice pattern. So I'm just going to carry on doing that, and then I will meet you at the end and I'll show you what I do for just the final round to finish it off and make it look nice. So see you in a minute. Okay, so just join in the top of that chain 3, and do a chain 1, and basically I'm going to single crochet around. So in that first stitch you do a single crochet. I just want to add that there's a couple of times you've got to play it, but you don't want to make it too tight or too loose. You just want to really follow it gently. Now if there's a big stitch like this one I'm coming up to, if you can see that, it might be I do 2 single crochets in it. So, because you don't want to pull it, you just want to make it so it's got a really nice edge. So I think I will do 2 single crochets in that one, and maybe 1 in that one, and they're sort of pulled together. So just play it by ear and single crochet. So I'm going to do 2 in that as well, I think. It's often where you do the 2 half double crochets together, and then just single crochet around, and then you get this really nice edge on top of that nice pattern, and it lays nice and flat. So do that, and then just slip stitch and join, and I'll show you what we did on this one. And you could see how in this one I've actually had to do I think 2 single crochets in nearly every stitch because it's quite stretchy. So really do as many single crochets as you need, but to make it be nice and flat and give that nice edge. But then you can see what a nice little pattern that is. So it's worth playing with. And then last but not least, sorry, so then just join and sew in your ends, obviously. And then last but not least is the tassels. Now, you should have finished on, let's see where we are. You'd have finished on row 4. So what I do is I did a tassel in every other gap. So it's quite a nice way to start. So I wrapped round for these. I had some solid colour and some left from the gradient yarn, and I did, it's basically 8 times round my phone case, so the long side of my phone case. And I had, because I had the 2 colours, I wrapped it round, I had the 2 strands and wrapped it round 4 times. But if you were doing it, so this is the thin yarn. Now I haven't got my phone case because I'm recording with my phone case. So say I've got my glasses case here. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's about the same as my phone case. And then snip them off. And basically, if you start in that dip there and you put the first tassel in there, I haven't done that one very well at all. There it is. Lost a bit. So you've done there, and then if you skip those either side of it, so there's one there and one there, 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 so every other one there, and then you skip those 2, and then so that's where you started. So, but when you put it in, it's easy, it sort of slightly blocks that off there, that you're skipping those 2. But it does make this beautiful. I think it's the right amount, as you could see. I've put a couple of pictures up at the end here, but you can see how nice that looks. So I think that is everything, but if you have any questions then please ask, and happy crocheting. Thank you for watching.